Happy morning, children. Today again we are going to discuss about the means of spread. In my last video I have discussed about the two means of spread, that is the direct transmission and indirect transmission. So children, I would like to give a more emphasis on indirect transmission today. So I will be discussing that topic. So first I am writing it on the blackboard. Indirect transmission. Okay. When we talk about indirect transmission of the diseases, we need to understand it very nicely. So, in my last video, I have already told indirect transmission takes place first through air. Children, you might have heard about the airborne diseases, or in this pandemic, you are quite familiar that the coronavirus, they spread sometimes through air. Okay. So, that is the reason in the air, the pathogens, they form the droplets. When we speak, when we sneeze, when we cough, that time what happens? The pathogens, they come outside our mouth, outside our nostrils, and they are suspended in the air in the form of very tiny little water droplets. Okay. And if the person standing nearby, when he inhales this air, because in the air these droplets are so small that you cannot see it. So when it goes inside the healthy person's body, what happens? The person gets infected. And hence these airborne diseases are very dangerous. Okay. Generally, you will find that these airborne diseases spread very fast. And this is the reason a common manner says that whenever you sneeze or whenever you cough, you put a hanky, or if the hanky is not there, put your hands near your nostrils or near your mouth before coughing or before sneezing. This is a general behavior, children. Why? To prevent this airborne diseases. Okay? To prevent airborne diseases. Okay, airborne diseases can be many. It may be pleurisy. Okay, it may be whooping cough. It may be common cold. Okay, and so on. There are many airborne diseases which can occur through the air. So this is the one part. Now coming to the second part, children. Through water. Okay. When we talk about through water, you might be familiar with the diseases which generally occur in this monsoon season. During monsoon, what happens? Due to lots and lots of rainfall, there are floods, waterlogging. And during this situation, what happens? Our surface water gets contaminated. Fine. And this contaminated water causes diseases in humans or in other animals. So, these diseases spread through water. They are known as waterborne diseases. And to prevent these diseases, children, you might have heard, this is an age-old practice, that we boil water, filter it with the help of a cloth, that is cotton cloth or muslin cloth, and then it is stored in the container and it is consumed as potable water. This is an age-old practice, children, which has been done by us since very long time. Okay. Nowadays we are having lots and lots of other appliances which are useful for this, like ROs, like ceramic filters. Okay, so I am not going into that detail, but these things, these ROs, these ceramic filters, these are used why? For the prevention of waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid, okay, dysentery. These all are waterborne diseases, and that's why to prevent these diseases, these ROs, ceramic filters, okay, or boiling of water, they are used by us. And the third, children, third important is through vectors. Children, first you need to know what are vectors. Vectors are those intermediate organisms which carries the pathogen from infected person to an healthy person. They are basically the carrier of the pathogens or carrier of the disease causing germs. Okay. Now the most common vector which you see around yourself or which we find around us are houseflies, mosquitoes, rats. Okay. These all are very common vectors which we find in our day-to-day life, in our home, in offices and shops, in hotels and restaurants, everywhere you will find these vectors. Okay, and they cause the diseases like malaria. They also cause the disease like cholera. Okay, now the means of spread is very interesting, children. Suppose a mosquito bites an infected person, sucks the blood from infected person, the person suffering with malaria. So what will happen? As soon as it sucks the blood from the infected person, the malarial parasite will be carried by him, carried by the mosquito, and again when that mosquito bites an healthy person, that time this gets transmitted and the person gets infected. Okay, or you might have heard from your parents or elderly people at home, don't eat the street food. Don't eat the food from the street vendors. Why? Because generally on the street, the food is kept open. So all the dust particles are there, flies are coming over there. So what happens? The same fly is sitting on the dirt and garbage. Suppose there is a drainage system by the side of the road. The fly will go to the garbage and the same fly will come and sit on the food which has been prepared by the street vendor. So naturally you can understand that what will happen? The pathogens will get transferred from the drainage system to the food, and if that food is consumed by us, then we will be having a threat. So that is the reason, children, you might have seen in good restaurants and good hotels, you will find that the waiters, they generally wear gloves in their hands. They wear the cap on their head. If you go to a good restaurant, good hotel, you will find these type of arrangements done by them. Why? To prevent the spread of these type of diseases. So that is the important thing. Through this, to prevent us from vectors, what we do? We do generally bleaching powder is spread. We use mosquito nets in our houses, or for sleeping also we use the mosquito nets, or we use mosquito net on the windows. Okay, so these are the few things, children, which I wish to discuss with you. Okay, I think indirect transmission is clear to you.